Okay, so as you know, we're going to be making coasters for our last project of the semester. This is kind of a short project, okay? But you're gonna have to have 4 coasters, okay? And then they have to have a theme. So whatever theme that you decide. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a stencil to cut out your coasters first. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how to do your stencil first. So your coasters have to be 5 inches by 5 inches, okay? So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and measure this 5 inches. Now remember, okay, if you can see, let me zoom in real quick here. Talked about this before, okay? The edge of your ruler, make sure that you start at the 0. So the edge of my ruler is not the 0. This first line right here is the 0, okay? So I'm gonna line that on the very edge of my paper. The 0 on the edge of my paper, okay? I'm gonna go over to 5 and I'm gonna make a little mark. Let me zoom back out. Okay, so at the 5, I made a mark. And then I'm gonna go ahead and do that at the top of my paper as well. Okay, making sure it's on the 0 on the edge of the paper. Make a mark at the 5. And then I'm going to go ahead and connect these 2 lines, okay, with my ruler. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side, okay? Turn it around. I'm going to measure 5 this way at the bottom, and then I'm gonna measure 5 up at the top as well. Okay, now I only need 1 stencil. That way I can just go ahead and trace it onto each, or I can create each coaster from that 1 stencil, okay? So I made those 2 lines. I connect them using the ruler. Okay, now I have my 1 square that is 5 by 5, okay? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to cut it out. Okay, so it's very important that you measure this correctly because all of your coasters are gonna be made from this 1 stencil. Okay, so once I have my stencil cut out, now you're gonna have to have some kind of border on this, okay? So let me zoom back in a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make 2 lines, one that is 1/2 inch and one that is 3/4 of an inch, okay? So please pay attention to measuring. Over here, I'm gonna go ahead and again, make sure that my 0 is on the edge of my paper, okay? And then I make a mark at the 1/2 inch and the 3/4 of an inch. Okay, I'm gonna do that at the top as well. 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch. And then I'm going to connect those, hopefully. Okay, so I have 2 sets of lines. Now I'm gonna go ahead and flip it. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Make a mark of the 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and I'm gonna connect it. Okay, go ahead and do that for all the sides. 1/2 inch, 3/4, 1/2 inch, 3/4. And make sure that you use your ruler to line up your little dots, because if you don't, then your lines are not going to be correct. Okay, and last one. 1/2 inch, 3/4. 1/2 inch, 3/4. And I'm going to connect them. Okay, and you need to know, okay, where 1/2 inch and 3/4 is. So this is an inch, the very middle is your 1/2. Okay, and then you have a quarter, half, and then 3/4 is right here. Okay, so make sure that you know what you are measuring. Okay, so now I have my stencil. Okay, this area up here on the side is going to be whatever shape or design I want. This side over here, and then this will be my buffer, and then my design will be on the inside. Okay, so what I'm going to end up having is something like this. So what I did is I want to do a zigzag outline, okay, for the edge of my coasters. So you can have kind of any kind of border that you want, but you have to have some type of border, okay? So what I did is I measured mine and I made little marks for every 1/2 inch, and then I connected them to make a zigzag, okay? So this is pretty much this, just with, okay, it cut out. So now, this will be the edge of my coasters, but I will have a buffer here before my design starts, okay? And I can go ahead and cut that out, okay? So all I need to do is use this for every single coaster, okay?